Stuart, have we learned anything new in the last 24 hours about how Israel are likely to respond to the Iran attack?
So it seems to be a range of options. And I should stress at this stage that we're not privy to the planning going on inside Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, but we're going to make an educated guess. And I think the most likely targets are probably, number one, the missile sites that launched the missiles a couple of days ago, the aerial defenses. These are all certainly within the range of Israel's capabilities. And then we get into more tricky waters. So oil infrastructure, that is definitely on the table, but clearly not something the US would be particularly pleased about either when we're this close to the election, because it's definitely going to impact oil prices. You've already seen it. Imagine what Brent crude will be trading at if they take out Iran's oil export facilities. And then last, the one that Biden, I think, is also very fearful about, the nuclear sites. Yeah. It is broadly thought that Israel would struggle to take out those sites alone. They're going to need US help. And in part, that's because of the distance involved and the depth at which many of those facilities are. So they can definitely do damage. Can they really take them out? No. And there is a secondary risk here, is that after several months, it may push Iran into acquiring a nuclear weapon. It may basically put Iran in a position where it feels it's backed into a corner, it has no options, there's no more deterrence left, it has to go for the nuclear option. And then that is a catastrophic scenario for the region, because everyone else is going to want one as well.
Is there a sense, Stuart, that the reprisal this time around from Israel is going to be more forceful than what we got back in April?
Yeah, I think it has to be. And it seems a broad spectrum of support within Israel for that. The response that we saw back in April was, relatively speaking, a very small one. Given the speed at which the Iranian attack came this time, its magnitude and the kind of missiles used, there's ballistic missiles that move incredibly fast and therefore give them less time to defend themselves. Yes, it has to be more than just a drone attack.
Yeah. So the U.S. came to Israel's support yesterday in intercepting some of the missiles that were fired towards Israel and over central cities. Now, in the response, how crucial is it for Israel that U.S. also are participating, or will they have some form of participation?
Yeah, so they have. The U.S. has already said publicly, we will be part of the response. Now, quite what that looks like, who knows? It could be intelligence, it could be refueling support, it could be attacks themselves. Again, I think the U.S. is going to be quite reluctant to engage directly, because in effect that starts a whole new phase of the war. Now, it has the firepower to do that. It certainly has the capability. But again, we are very, very close to the election. The last thing the U.S. wants right now is to be dragged directly into a confrontation with Iran.